Hi guys, welcome back to the next episode of Live Discussions. Today we're discussing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So let's get into it. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for this algorithm. So let's start a non-spoiler review. Now I put one out yesterday. It was 3 minutes long. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's supposed to actually come out tomorrow, but I actually got 2 days earlier. It came out Wednesday, so I watched it, and yeah, I've got to tell you about it. There's a lot to say about it. So yeah, this is the third and final installment in the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. Um, Sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and the 32nd film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it stars Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Pom Clementine, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Sean Gunn, Huey D. Awaji, Will Poulter, Elizabeth Debicki, Mario Bakalova, and Sylvester Stallone. And in it from the Guardians embark on a mission to protect Rocket from the High Evolutionary. And yeah, so let's get into it. So let's get into non-spoilers. I think the visuals were good. I love the effects. I thought the cast, everyone was good. Yeah, so I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Like in the first one, like I remember when they announced they were going to do Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't know anything about the Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, I don't read the comics, but I know, yeah, they were in the comics. I didn't know anything of them. So yeah, I know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy, and I watched that movie. I loved it. That's the first thing I knew about James Gunn because I didn't know James Gunn before this. And then we had Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which okay, it's a step down from the first one, but it's okay. But then he went on to do the Suicide Squad. He did Super. He produced Brightburn as well. He did the Suicide Squad, which I loved. He did Peacemaker, which I loved. And then yeah, and yeah, we were looking forward to this. This was supposed to be his last movie with these characters, but then Marvel fired him over some offensive tweets he did a decade ago. So yeah, this whole movie was put on hold, and then yeah, so Warner Bros. Got him in, and he did the Suicide Squad, did Peacemaker, and then now he's running DC Studios with Peter Safran, and then the reason they brought him back was because the cast said they weren't going to do it without James Gunn. So then, yeah, so they rehired James Gunn, and then yeah, so James Gunn said this was going to be his last movie, and yeah, he went out. Yeah, he yeah. This was a perfect movie, last Marvel movie, and last one we're gonna have with these characters, and it was good. We had to wait a long time for it because he was busy doing Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, and yeah, so I'm happy he's running DC Studios. That just confirms DC's in good hands because James Gunn is a good storyteller. He's a good director, and I like how he did the cosmic side of Marvel. Um, it just sucks that Marvel if they didn't fire him because before James Gunn got fired, Kevin Feige after Phase 3, he was going to be charged of the cosmic side of Marvel. He was going to be Kevin Feige's right hand man. That's what was going to happen, but then they fired him, and all those plans went away, which is kind of sad. But I'm happy he has at DC. Like he's doing Superman Legacy. I love the slate that we got out. I'm looking forward to Raven and Bold. The Green Lantern one I'm looking forward to show because I'm happy we'll finally get some Green Lantern. The Supergirl movie looks good as well. What else is we got? Swamp Thing movie. We have Brave and the Bold. I'm looking forward to that, and also I'm looking forward to the prequel, the Wonder Woman prequel, Paradise Lost. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. So yeah, let's just get into the spoilers. So let's start with yeah, so basically, the Guardians of the Galaxy they are in nowhere, which is the same one from this holiday special, and I think Guardians too. But yeah, so yeah, so basically, you have a backstory of Rocket, who's basically a young raccoon, and then you see a glimpse of the High Evolutionary, and then it goes back to present day, and then basically Rocket. You see all the characters, and you see all the credits, like all the Guardians movies have credits. Like James Gunn likes to do credits, and then basically he sees Quill who's drunk, and then basically Nebula picks him up and takes him to bed, and then basically and then basically yeah, so basically and then Adam Warlock shows up. Adam Warlock, played by Will Poulter. He was teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He was in a cocoon. I think James Gunn wanted him in the second one, but I think he was going to wait on him. He was going to save him for the future. And yeah, we had a post-credit scene of him in the end of Guardians 2. We don't see him, we just see his cocoon. Will Poulter. Will Poulter's good. He was in We're the Millers. He's in a lot of movies. Like, he's good as Adam Warlock. He shows up and pretty much attacks nowhere. And then basically the Guardians fight him, and then basically Rocket gets injured, and then basically they're unable to help Rocket because he has a kill switch embodied in his chest. And then so they have to travel to Orgosphere headquarters of Orgo Corp to find override code. And then we find out the High Evolutionary. And yeah, so he wanted to so basically we see the High Evolutionary, and then we basically we see Adam Warlock, and we see Aja, played by Elizabeth Debicki. She was in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And so yeah, so basically they have to go, and they have to find a cure, and then they find Gamora, the one from 2014. If you saw Endgame, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's the one from 2014, not the original one, because the original one died in Infinity War. But yeah, so basically they have to try and retrieve Rocket's file. They are attacked by Orgosphere guards, barely escaping after so basically, and yeah, so that's basically it. Then basically the team go to counter Earth against Gamora's advice, and who angrily bails out on them after calling out to not only the Guardians of the whole, but then constantly making up separate plans because they feel like it. But Quill for his need to make her look like the Gamora he once knew. And then basically they encounter Earth, and then they have to Aja and Warlock inept a conversation with Gamora, a Ravager that Warlock killed during an interrogation, and follow coordinates to counter Earth. And then basically Groot and Cole go to do High Evolutionary ship, except Nebula was with them. She's still forced to stay behind. And Mantis and Drax, they're in the ship. They're on the motor. They're on a motorcycle, and then basically they meet the and then Gamora pretty much stays in the ship with Rocket, and then basically, basically. And yeah, so Adam Warlock wakes up and he attacks like Gamora and like Rocket the ship, and then basically so Quill and Groot, they defeat the High Evolutionaries men, and they basically jump off the ship, which are in the memory before Gamora meets them, and then so Nebula, Mantis, and Drax, they go onto the ship, and then basically on the ship, on the Guardian ship, Rocket flatlines where he's met by subject friends, Lylla, Teves, and Floor. Lylla was voiced by Linda Cardellini. She was on the MC. She played Laura Barton, and yeah, we find out about his friends, his backstory, and then basically Lylla, they have to, and then basically Rocket finds out that they're not going to go home. Who's using High Evolution? Was using them as experiments, so they try to escape, and then Lylla gets shot by the High Evolutionary, and then then Rocket gets upset about it, and then he attacks the Evolutionary, and then the Evolutionary's guards, they shoot they shoot Teves and Floor, and basically in the flashbacks, so then Core basically revives Rocket, and then basically then Nebula, Drax, and Mantis, they're on the ship, and then you see thousands of children on the High Evolutionary ship before being, and then basically they get captured by the High Evolutionary, and then Mantis is able to persuade the acolytes to side with them, and the three that Abilis that a High Evolutionary sent to kill them, but he's able to persuade them, and then basically so they all reunite with the Guardians, and then basically Kraglin and Cosmo arrive in nowhere, where Cosmo connects to the High Evolutionary ship with the help of Nebula and Kraglin through their powers of telekinesis, allowing them to free the captured children. And Rocket discovers a litter of baby raccoons and the other test subject animals, and but is attacked by a deranged High Evolutionary while attempting to free them before being rescued by the Guardians. And then basically all of the Guardians attack. They will attack High Evolutionary. He's left to perish on the ship while the others are rescued. I think he obviously dies in the explosion. But yeah, so they get all the children on the ship, and then they get all the animals on the, and then so basically Cosmo's holding the ship, but she doesn't hold it long enough, so Quill barely escapes. Basically, they all escape, and then Quill he has his MP3 player. He goes to get it, and then he basically freezes in space, and then Adam Warlock comes to he's with them. He comes to rescue Quill, and that's pretty much the movie. And then at the end, in the current Guardians Galaxy, they decide to disband upon returning to nowhere. Quill, so basically, Quill makes Rocket. He makes Rocket captain of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he leaves to go to Earth and reunites with his grandfather. Mantis embarks on a journey of self-discovery with the Abilisks, while Gamora reunites with Ravagers and Nebula and Drax. So Sylvester Stallone does come back as one of the Ravagers. He was in Guardians 2. With Nebula and Drax remain on nowhere to raise the rescued children. The new Guardians team is Rocket. There's two post-credit scenes. Now, the first one, you have Rocket, Groot, Cosmo, Kraglin, Warlock, Phyla, and Blurp shown going on a mission in a mid-credit scene. And then the movie ends as the credits. Then there's a second post-credit scene. And then basically see Quill meeting his grandfather. That was at the end. And then there's a post-credit scene where he's basically talking. He's in the kitchen. He's talking with his grandfather. He's basically eating cereal. And they're talking about mowing the lawn. And yeah, that scene was actually funny. And then at the end, at the end of the title says the legendary Star-Lord will return. And then it ends. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a massive good ending. Great send-off to these guys. I really thought Raccoon was going to die because they were kind of hinting he was going to die, but he didn't. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I enjoy it. I love High Evolutionary. He was a good villain. I like how he was just evil from the beginning. I hate how the big problem I had with Phase 4 is that basically all the villains, they were basically just misunderstood. Like Shang-Chi's dad, Gore the God Butcher, Wanda, like most of them were like misunderstood villains who'd become evil because they want to accomplish something. I liked how he was evil from the start, but yeah, so yeah, I enjoyed it. You had lots of cameos, like you had Jennifer Holland, who's basically who's James Gunn's wife. She plays Harcourt in the DCU. She appears as Administrator Qual, and Tara Strong, who voiced Miss Minutes, voices the Mainframe. Miley Cyrus plays the Mainframe was played by Miley Cyrus in Volume 2. And Nathan Fillion has a cameo appearance as Master Karja on August entry. And yeah, Deep Bradley Power voices Blurb. Uh, he's a furry Roger pet that Warlock keeps. And Greg Henry plays Quill's grandfather. Nathan Fillion has a cameo appearance. He was supposed to be in Guardians Volume 2. He was supposed to play Wonder Man, but then he got cut from the movie. We are getting a Wonder Man TV show with Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, so I'm looking forward to that. And so I'm happy that he's Nathan Fillion. And that's pretty much it. I enjoyed it. Much better. This was much better than Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. As most of you don't know, I really did not like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So yeah, this was good. It's a great ending to the trilogy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I love all the music they use. Um, yeah, they use Creep, Radiohead. They use Crazy on You. Since You've Been Gone, that was in the second trailer. They use In the Meantime. That was in the first trailer. Um, No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Dog Days Are Over. They bring back Come Get Your Love. That was at the mid credit scene. I love that they brought it back. And yeah, it was a good movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I love High Evolutionary. I love the actors playing him. He was in Peacemaker. He played Moon. And so, what's the future for Guardians of the Galaxy now? I think we will get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4, but I think it'll be a couple of years till we get another one. But if we get one, it won't be with James Gunn. James Gunn has said this is his last movie with Marvel. So I think they teased a new team at the end of the movie. So I'm guessing we could get a Volume 4. But it'll be with a new actor. Zoe Saldana said she's done with Gamora. So she said if Gamora shows up, he'll be recast. And yeah, and Peter Quill will come back, but he'll come back. He said at the end, the Star Lord will be back. I don't know if he'll be with Chris Pratt, but I don't want to see. So yeah, I love this movie. So this was my favorite Marvel movie this year. We are getting the Marvels in November, which I didn't care for. I watched the trailer, I thought it was good, so I might check it out. But yeah, let's go into Galaxy Volume 3, and that's pretty much what I have to say. Give it an 8 out of 10. This is James Gunn's swan song from Marvel. But yeah, I had a good time with it. Now, next week I will be doing one on Hypnotic. That's the new movie with, I think, Robert Rodriguez, and the stars Ben Affleck, so I will be doing one on that. After that, we'll have Fast X, and we'll have Little Mermaid, so I've got a lot looking forward to. And yeah, so this is going to Galaxy Volume 3, give it an 8 out of 10. Enjoyed it. If you like Marvel, I highly recommend you check it out. If you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, you'll like this. Is a massive send-off. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. So that is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm gonna watch this movie again. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun time. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. That's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I love the story they went with it. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say. So guys, so much for my video. I will see you in my next. Bye.